Hey everybody, I am bringing you a movie that I have been very excited to see since I heard it was coming out, and that is The Lodge. Now, this got some festival releases in 2019. It got a very limited theater release here in the US, I want to say in February, but it was really limited, and I was excited because I was hoping it was going to go wider, but that was right before everything kind of shut down. So I don't think it went to very many cities, mostly New York, LA, and maybe a couple other spots, but not very many places. The Lodge is a horror movie, and this is kind of, I would say it's along that niche kind of category of art house horror that's been kind of blowing up in the last few years. You know, you've got all the Hereditaries, which I love, and Midsommers. You got Eggers stuff with The Witch. You got Peel with Us and all that kind of stuff. So that sort of style. The directors of this are Severin Fiala and Veronica Franz. And once again, hopefully I said their names right. And they were the directors of Goodnight Mommy. Now, Goodnight Mommy I thought was okay, but for me it was a little bit derivative of a very good 70s movie called The Other. So the twist in Goodnight Mommy didn't really surprise me, and I feel like that movie really relied heavily on the twist kind of kicking you in the gut. And when you found it out, it made you want to kind of rewatch things, and it didn't do that for me. So I felt it kind of fell a little flat. Now, that being said, buzz I had heard, and I haven't read the detailed reviews on it before I saw it, the buzz I had heard was that it was very, very divisive. I was hearing it was the greatest thing. It was one of the best horror movies of the last year or so. That it was really dark. And then I also had heard people saying they hated it. And some of the people that loved it were people that I really align with a lot of times with their reviews of horror. And once again, horror and movies in general are very subjective. So all of it has to be taken with a grain of salt. So I was really excited to see this movie. And as you might guess by the way I'm describing it, I maybe wasn't as excited by the outcome. So anyway, what is The Lodge? I'll give you the basic idea, and of course we're not going to go into spoilers because I don't do that on this main reviews. It basically revolves around a family. You've got a father of two kids, younger kids. The son is, probably about 14 or 15. The daughter is more like 8 or 9. The dad is a single dad, and he's recently married or about to marry. I kind of lose track of that. It's about to marry or married Riley Keough's character, and she's kind of the main character here. Once again, basically there's a setup where the kids and the mom are going to end up being together right before Christmas while the dad's in business, and then he'll come back and rejoin them. So you have a built-in tension because you've got new stepmom, kids who maybe don't kind of resent her, don't accept her yet, and they're going to be in an isolated kind of a winter cabin together, and what is the tension that will happen there. And unfortunately I can't go into too many plot points after that or it'll start spoiling the movie, but obviously from the setup you can understand that things don't go well for them there at the Lodge. So it's called The Lodge, and it has the poster has a snowflake with a bloody upside down cross, so there's obviously something evil of some sort going to happen there, but you don't know what it is. Let's just say that I was highly disappointed with this movie, and I knew that I might be, but I didn't think I'd be as upset as I was, and partly because I guess with a movie like this, where I can tell that the filmmakers have a lot of skill, and they really do a great job with the cinematography and the setting. The acting is great. It feels appropriately bleak and cold, and they do a great job, framing the shots, and you get these, slow crawls in and slow crawls out, kind of very Kubrickian kind of stuff, that I'm more disappointed and angry at a movie like this than I would be at, say, just a schlocky old independent horror movie that's just going to be cheesy, because they are shooting for something disturbing and artistic and high-minded, and they are in essence making something that's terrible. In my opinion, I just hated this movie, and I would probably have given it a 3-star if it wasn't such wasted potential, in my opinion. And honestly, I can only give this movie 2 stars, and the 2 stars are for the acting and for the cinematography and for the look of the movie and the setting. But the story is absolute trash, in my opinion. So much so that I have not been angered by a movie this much for quite a while. I think that I will be making an additional spoiler-filled video with the top 10 reasons that I hated this movie. Anyway, I don't usually like to do negative and hate kind of reviews. That's not my style. But when I come across one like this, I kind of am driven to do more. So for everyone who stuck around, thank you again. I don't usually ask for it, but I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. I know that's not much in the YouTube universe, but for me it's kind of big, so if I can get to 1,000 subscribers, that'd be awesome. Also, if you haven't checked it out, I am on deepestdream.com, which is run by Greg Sredovosky. Sorry, Sredovosky. I said your name wrong, Greg. I'm so sorry. Deepest Dream is the site he runs, and it's full of all kinds of entertainment stuff, movies, video games, music, everything. Some of my reviews will also pop up there. And we are also involved with 2 other people in a podcast called Movie Mainline. And I will link some of those things down at the bottom in the description if you'd like to check those out and get more movie information. And we'll talk to you soon with the top 10 reasons I hated The Lodge.